so today I'm gonna be talking about the latest update on Japan COVID cases and the situation around it. Now, and also recent news about the artists who made it into Japan, while students and other like student international student worker cannot go into Japan. But first of all, as of today, I think the COVID cases has reached around 2,100 cases. I think around that. With Tokyo COVID cases around 235 cases, which means that the government is also has also been planning to stop the state of emergency happening in Japan, and the final decision would be made next week. From what I heard from the Prime Minister Suga, and also the possibility that the students who is stuck outside can might be able to go in around October. For me personally, I would also say that it's from based on past experience. From what I heard, they say that October might be possible, but it's still a question to be asked whether it can be or not. We're still like basically as international students, international workers who are stuck are currently in a, as I say, I would say it's like we're in a middle road in which the government is the one has the power of choice to see the fate of these students, international students and workers who are stuck outside of Japan. So if they could let us all in, let us say, then it would be the best case scenario. Well, if they would not let us in, then it would be a worst case scenario that would be there. So basically, we are stuck with two choices. The government is stuck by two choices to be made for our fate to seal our fate. Well, for me, if and from what I see recently is that basically there's a movement happening around this problem that's happening, like a lot of international students stuck outside of Japan and blah 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 like that. And then from what I have see and also heard is that some of the students who have plans to go to Japan, who has been waiting 1 year, 2 year, 6 months, maybe 3 months, has been giving up on going to Japan. And that's hugely because of the border not being open. Like, and also in Australia, there has been borders still cannot be open until next year. And that's the big problem with Japan too, is that the the way that Japan has been handling this stuff has been abysmal. I would say has been poor. Like we have to take an example from recent cases that's happening, like when an artist, DJ artist who maybe got into Grammy nomination stuff suddenly gets into Japan as easily as you can see. While the international worker are struggling outside trying to get in and even cannot get in because the border hasn't been open. And you can see that what's happening is like something like, as I see, I would say, like, imagine this. Uh, we are like this. I say we have we are not like the very we are not rich. We are not famous. We are only normal. You see, we are normal. And then you can see there's a rich person that's you want to, let's say, a normal person want to buy a book that's cost like 100 bucks, as I say, and then you can see that a rich person want to buy 10 books for $100 or $500, as I say. I don't know, $500. of course would be feel jealous because that guy have the ability to buy 10 books for 500 but I only get one book for $100. But then let's just say they are a rich person. They instead of buying they just get it for free while for us normal we have to pay like $100 to see. There will be an inequality, of course, unfairness, and this is not basically what is simply what I would imagine as of. Basically, it's unfair. Like me as an international student stuck outside of Japan, luckily the time of of my class is not really at the worst situation, but I would still say that basically this is it's still very uncomfortable to do online class outside of, and basically like this it's all about experiencing. The reason why for me why I want to go Japan is to learn the language, to study and work there basically, and to also taste the culture, but I cannot do that basically. And many of the international students they want to go there, they want to experience it, the culture, the language, the hospitality, I say, but they can't. And this is basically just it's almost like we're all willing to take a 14 days quarantine, 13, 20. We all don't care. But the thing is that, like, even if, let's just say, the DJ get 3 days quarantine while we get 14, we still don't care actually. For me personally, I don't care as long as I get to reach there. But the thing that I am not happy about with Japan is that why is an artist able to get in while me as an international student can't get in? And then you can see that students in Japanese people or students who want to study outside are able to go there while we are stuck outside of Japan. There is basically a lot of unfairness to it that for me I quite hated it. I don't think that I don't really think that if let's just say Japan allow this big name famous person to get in Japan, but then for me I'm not a famous person or anything, but I cannot go into Japan. Then then at least they have to give a reason for it, because as an international student who's stuck outside Japan for 3 months, it's not really that comfortable either. It's as if I would say that me personally, it's as if it's my country. I love my country, but also at the same time, it feels like I'm living. I'm like traveling. I'm stuck outside of my country. Just say my home. Like that. It's almost similar to that. It feels very uncomfortable at the same time when you factor in the safety and security issue. And for me, like if I'm able to go there as soon as possible, I would do that, even if I have to take 14-day quarantine. And I'm sure that a lot of these international student and worker stuck outside of Japan can also have also the same ideas as me. I would say we are fine to be stuck in a quarantine for 14 days, but we are not fine with us not able to go there. That's the problem that I think most of the students are getting to. Like there is risk, but isn't it the same if you just let one guy from who's famous in compared to letting thousands of international students or workers go into Japan too at the same time, as we have to go through quarantine and all of that. But for me, I would say I would really hope that Japan would be open as soon as possible. by next month, and I can go into Japan by next month too. And it's just basically I just really wish that would happen, but I don't know whether they would do it or not, but I think they will do it. I think, like, for me, if they don't do it by next month, then they would be in a lot of trouble. Basically, the prime minister of Japan, his personality is he wants to make everyone happy in his country. Basically, that's what he wants to do. But because of Olympic and stuff and COVID, he cannot do that. And instead, he makes people in Japan to be citizen, basically to be frustrated and angry towards him. And I don't think that he also wanted people outside of Japan who wants to come to Japan to learn, to study, to work like that, to also be angry, which means that causing more hatred towards him, which I don't really see that happening if he open it by next month. Maybe this month he might not be able to open it because of COVID situation. 20K each day is quite scary. But now with the COVID cases reaching 2K, I would rather have him open it now than open it when it was in a sixth wave of COVID. Like this, it's they might be getting the sixth wave of COVID, but would they rather get it before the students get international students and workers get in Japan, or after it they got in? Because one more reason is that after the sixth wave we still don't know, because there might be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more of that. But then the thing is, we still don't know the variant, whether there's no new variant. For now, you can see that there's only like certain variants. Do they got more variants in, but at least we still know the variants that exist that in Japan, like that. And it's also fine for us to just directly go in to lessen the risk when the sixth wave ended. At least you can see that whether they can allow more students in or not. For me, it's better for them to just let all of them in directly in October and then close it in November. For me, that's what I would think. But I don't know whether people want it to happen. But I don't know. But basically, what I would say is that just be patient, and we have to we have to make our voice heard towards the government, which we have done it, I think. And for me personally, I would wish that students can go in that as soon as October, because it's also tiring to do online classes for me. And I'm sure for many people who are stuck, like let's say in the US, they have to do their class at 2 a.m. every Monday to Friday, and it's very tiring. And to think that the government still don't want to open the border is just very confusing for me personally. For me, if I was the government, I would just open it directly towards the people, students to go in. I mean, and I don't. And tomorrow at 7, I heard there will be a 7 p.m. Japan time. I think there will be a protest. I don't know was it protest or what around that on Twitter about the travel ban. And also, students and workers are not there to only travel. They are to study, actually, to be honest. They are going there to study, to learn the language. But at the same time, also, you want to, it's almost, well, I also think logically it's not right for the government to just close the border like this. They should open and close it. Let's just say, if opening it and then suddenly COVID rises again, they should close it as soon as everyone is in, like that. But then I would also be saying that it would be stupid for them to not open, especially business wise, tourism wise. and student. You see, if there's a lot of international students coming into Japan and worker, I'd say, then their tourism would increase at the same time. The business would be more stable towards the opening of tourism, and that's what I think Japan should aim for instead of closing the borders. For now, they should close it. For before they should close it, but then for now, I would say that this is the best time for them to open it for people apply visa directly, give it to them and go. There, especially for students who have their COE and cannot apply their visas, it's the best time for them to apply and to directly go there instead of wasting time in here lingering. Because if we are linger around here for any longer, I would say until October, I would say we might be going to Japan next year, I would say. So October is, I think, is the best time for allowing the students to come in and worker to come in before the like this. It's the best time for them to come in, just so that they could see the situation. They could also monitor the situation around it. And also, since the COVID is very low compared to when the fifth wave occurred, we should start they should start allowing students to apply for their visas now, I would say, because applying visa for each country depends on their time. And also, I would say that it could also allow them to prepare for October to when the border is open. They could prepare for it. Like, what should we do? What's the possible way? Because as you can see, thousands of students want to go in towards Hokkaido, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and maybe Okinawa. I God knows Fukuoka somewhere, Yokohama, and a lot of places they want to enter, but then they can't. So they also need to settle all of this hotels issue and stuff. And if they should prepare it now for so that it won't be as symbolic and as when Olympic happened. Because when Olympic happened, I heard it was very symbolic and all of that. But I think, yeah, that's it for now, guys. So hopefully you guys like this video, enjoy, and hopefully next week we could get an answer already on visas update and basically the border opening or not, and state of emergency ending or not. Hopefully we'll get those news by next week, and we will see what's the next step for the prime minister, government, and students, workers too. And see you guys next time. Bye bye.